Okay, so today we are at Penn State for the Garrett Penn State Open. So it's an individual fencing tournament that colleges are invited to. You're allowed to bring anyone you want to fence in it. So it's all individual, no team. And basically it's just 3 rounds of pools. Pools are basically 6 people, all fence each other like a round robin. And based on how you do, you can move on to the next round, or then you can get eliminated. So you make it to the 3 rounds, and then after that is direct eliminations. So this year, we're going to try and our best to make it to direct eliminations. If not, it's okay, but I'm just going to take you through the day of what it's like to mentally prepare and fence in a collegiate tournament. So thank you.
So before the tournament begins, we obviously have to warm up. So most of the time, our warm-ups are individual. So for me personally, I like going on my own strip, and I start jogging for about 5 to 10 minutes to warm up my muscles. After that, I'll go to do dynamic stretching, so any stretches that I can't do while standing still. This can include anything between like high knees, butt kicks, high kicks, open the gates, close the gates, anything related to that. After that, I'll do my static stretching for another 5 minutes. And finally, we'll finish it off with some fencing footwork before we get suited up and start warming up for the actual tournament. So now that I'm done warming up, it's time for my first bout. Here's a quick freeze frame to help understand what you're looking at a little better. On the right is me, on the left is my opponent, and on the far left is the director. The metal strip is below me, the machine is to my right, and the on-guard lines is where we're standing. Okay, so now the bout has begun, and on the left, my opponent just scored a touch. Her light is going to be red, while mine's going to be green. If they both go off, then the decision is up to the director. I'm going to show you the full length of this bout in order for you guys to understand how long a typical bout lasts. It's usually about anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes long. Right now, my opponent is winning 3-0. And I really just want to focus on how my body language changes throughout the whole day, but specifically this bout, getting disappointed in myself and kind of going through what I'm thinking when I'm on the strip. So right there, I get my first touch of the bout, and it's 4-1. Still losing, that's okay. And then the final touch goes to her. And here are my thoughts.
That was bout 1. We lost, boys. Mission failed. What I was doing was not starting. I was starting too fast, not being able to react to a preparation. Basically, we just both started at the same time. Both couldn't finish. Or she started before me, which then made her attack, which I didn't understand until after the bout. So that was bout 1.
Going into my second bout, I knew I had to forget about my first bout and be able to just go out stronger than I was before. My opponent, I've known before, I've definitely fenced before, so I know how she fences, and I was just trying to keep that in mind while fencing her. I'm specifically just going to show you this touch coming up because it's a great touch in general. So she's pushing me down the strip. I make her fall short, I throw my arm, and she eventually finishes, and you could see like the disappointment in my body language, which is something that's very hard to control when you're at a fencing tournament, or specifically what I need to work on, and just trying to get my emotions under control as best as I can. So I ended up losing that bout 5-2. She actually ended up being the champion of the entire day, but my coach talked to me after, and yep, kind of had no comment here.
I have no comment. No comment on that one.
Okay, so this is my third bout, and I'm going to go through it pretty fast. I ended up winning this bout, so I just want to keep notice of how my body language is completely different in this bout compared to my last 2. I know when like my brain is on and when my emotions don't get the best of me by the way I walk back after a touch back to the on-guard line. you can see that I just have a lot more confidence, which is like good to take note of after we watch film after tournaments. So yep, I ended up winning this bout. So now I'm 1-2 for the first pool.
I finally got that first
Right,
stop
you don't
of
have
the
to
day.
score. You don't have to score a thing. You just use it to set up action.
Defense like that. The rest of my bouts.
More ideas.
In order to make it into the second round, so I need at least 2 wins. So we'll see.
Here's a quick clip from my fourth bout. This is the first time for the day that I actually started screaming for my touches. It's a common thing within fencing for you to scream after you get a touch. It kind of just releases like the energy, and I know when I scream I do fence a lot better, so here's just an example of that.
One more. Got it.
Okay, I'm 2-2 right now. Got 2 more bouts. Gets the probably best 2 girls in my pool. So yeah, it's really a cliffhanger.
I went into my last bout thinking that I was definitely going to lose because of my opponent, who was a nationally ranked fencer. Sometimes when I go in with that mindset, when I know I'm the underdog, it kind of works out, and I did somehow win this bout, so that was really cool.
There's a reason I'm smiling. It's because I shouldn't have won that bout against that girl. But we did, so we're good.
OH.
Oh my god, I got so lucky. I just threw my arm out.
So I ended up making it to the second round. Because the rounds do get more intense as they go on, it was harder to film, so here's just kind of a quick background video to put on, but I was able to get my thoughts for after round 2, so here they are.
So I just got done with round 2. I ended with 2 wins, 3 losses. So right now I'm just waiting to see if I advance to the third round. It's going to be like a 50-50 chance. So we'll see. We weren't able to record a lot during it because it was in a weird section of the gym. But yeah, that's basically it. So it's all going to depend on my indicator, which is basically how many touches I let up and how many touches I score against like all of the other fencers. So yep, we'll see if I advance. And hopefully see you in the third round. If not, then I'll catch you later.
So I ended up making it into the third round. This bout I'm showing you now is from the third round, and it's from one of my opponents who I fenced in the first round, who I ended up beating 5-2, I believe. This bout was after 3 bouts prior in this round where I lost 4-5 to all 3 of the girls. So at this point, my confidence was very low, and it just shows how important your mentality is while fencing, because it really does play a huge role in the way you do end up fencing. So the score was 3-5, and I ended up losing.
Okay, so third round didn't go very well. I ended up 0-6, which got me eliminated before direct eliminations. It was fine. It was a good day. Yeah, we're going to cheer on the rest of the team now for direct eliminations. But yeah, it's just, I feel like I got into a very strong mental block against some of my opponents. But definitely got to think about that, and we're going to readjust everything after talking to my coaches. So yeah.
So my final thoughts for the day were just being able to focus on my mentality and not letting my emotions get the best of me. As you could tell, fencing is just a very mental sport, so you can really beat anyone who you go up against, and you can really lose to anyone you go up against. You really never know, and it's just all in how confident you are when you step up on the strip.